Hello, welcome back to Creations from the Heart. My name is Melissa. If you are brand new here, welcome. If you are returning, thanks for coming back. Today we are going to learn how to make the snowman out of the fish bowls. There's several ways you can do it, so I'm just going to show you a little bit of everything. This one is made out of the smaller fish bowls right here, so you can get a good look at him. Okay. And that's this size of the fish bowl. So this one, you've got the smaller one, and this one is the bigger one. So there's your size difference. And then this one, this cute little guy right here, he's actually made out of the snow globes. So these are the snow globes. Now, a little bit about him with the snow globes. What I did was I took the bottom off of one of them, and then I took a drill bit and I drilled a hole right in the center. And then I drew a hole right in the center of the other one. That way I could string the lights in between the two, okay? With the fish bowls, I glued them top to top. And I just put the lights in between them. So here are some lights. I'm just using what I have on hand today. I used the smaller fairy lights, but all I had was these star lights. So we're gonna use those. But what I did was I put some of them down there in the bottom. And then I put some in the top. I left the battery pack hanging out like this. And then I glued the two together with some Gorilla Glue and some hot glue for immediate adhesion. And then I just didn't glue the one part on the end where the light pack is sticking out. And then I just used some double-sided tape to secure the battery pack to the side. So these are kind of heavy, so that's why it's kind of falling down there and it's not really staying, some in the top and some in the bottom. But if you have that, the smaller fairy lights, they will stay where you're putting them. Another option for the lighting would be to use one of these lights. Put it over the bottom like that. You can stack them just like this and the light will still shine through both of them, okay? Or if you wanted to, you could still use a light down here at the bottom, put some fairy lights in here and leave the pack hanging out. So that's another way you could do it. You could do it like this. All the lights here in the top. And then when you put your hat on top, you can just not glue it on, and then you could have access to the battery pack. I think once you get all the glitter on it, you're not really gonna see the battery pack, but we'll test that out when we get ready to actually make it. I'm just kind of throwing some ideas out there at you guys right now so that you know different things that you can do. So what we're going to be making today is I'm going to be making them out of the smaller fish bowls. Okay, let me move him out of the side. So I've showed you what you needed with all the different snow globes, and you need some lights. You need some skates or the shoes, like what's on this guy right here, whichever you prefer. I'm not going to use the skates today because I have another idea that I'm using the snowman with today, so I'm not actually going to put the feet on there, but I will show you how the feet do go on there. You will need a hat. So I've got a couple different hat choices right here, and I got these at Walmart. Let's see, they were only $1.98 at Walmart. Not bad. Or another option, like with this big guy right here, I made his hat. So you can home make your own hat as well, and I made it out of a empty ribbon spool and used some fabric. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that and put that together. You're going to need another option. If you don't want a hat, you can get a sock from the Dollar Tree, and you can make a hat out of the sock, which would just go, you would cut it down, of course. Cut it down so that you don't have but a little bit of bulk out here, and then you would just glue the hat to the head like that. So that's another option for a hat. You're going to need your Gorilla Glue, your hot glue gun, and I like to paint my faces on. So I've got some paint markers here. These are some really good paint markers. I bought them at Amazon, and I'll leave the link below in case you're interested in getting them. But I love these markers. You're gonna need some twine or some of that nautical rope if you want to add some detail to the brim of the hat. And you're going to need some fake snow or glitter, whichever one you prefer. And to help mine adhere, I use this tacky spray. This tacky glue spray is what I use. Some people use polyacrylic, some people use Mop and Glow, Mod Podge. There's a wide variety of things that you could use to make that stick on there for you. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be in sections because there's some drying time involved in letting these fish bowls dry out. So I will show you what I do over here. And grab something here. I'm just going to use a piece of paper. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is open up your can of spray and just give it a coat everywhere on there. Make sure you're getting all the sides. You're getting the bottom of it pretty good. And I kind of just turn it around a little bit just to shake it real good, make sure it's getting a good coat. Okay. And then you just pour in your snow. I'm just shaking it all around, making sure it gets all the areas inside there. I've heard some people even use Epsom salt. I didn't have the greatest experience last year when I used the Epsom salt. Of course, I didn't do it on the inside, I did it on the outside. So it kind of dried up all chalky for this year. And I'll show you what I mean by that. In a minute, I'll go grab my snowman that I did last year that looks like so pathetic. But I'm going to redo him this year and I don't know how I'm going to get all this Epsom salt off of him yet, but I am going to redo him. But in the meantime, I'm making this little guy is going to go right where he went to replace him until I can figure that part out. So I'm just, and it's going inside like this little ring thing that I made. So that's why. Just kind of be careful. Don't be too heavy-handed with it, because you don't want it to have like a bunch of streaks and bubbles and things like that in there. I think we need a little bit more in there. Okay. Okay, and this is what it looks like. So as I said, these need some time to dry. So we will come back to the project later. Before I go, I just want to go grab that other snowman. I should have thought about doing that beforehand. Sorry about that. I'm going to excuse myself for just a second. Okay, so, oops. This is the snowman that I made last year. And for him, what I did was I went bottom to top with this one, and I just nestled his head in there. And I have one of those, let's see, it's dead. I have one of these lights inside of him. So he looks really cool when he looked good. As I said, I used the Epsom salt on the outside of this guy. So let's see if I can get it up. It really looks chalky and just, it doesn't look right. I tried saving it, using the Mod Podge and different things like that. But to me, it didn't hold up well. As you can see, my face even was falling apart over here. So I'm going to redo him. And the reason why I'm not putting feet on him is because I made this little ring. Get this out of the way real quick. So I have this ring here that I made, and he goes inside the ring. Now, all that ring is made out of, if you're interested, is one of these little green rings right here from the Dollar Tree. And I just wrapped it in the garland and then just decorated it with the different pine cones, ornaments, and some little flowers, and just kind of stuck it all in there. And so it made this nice little ring. And then the snowman just goes right in the center. Okay, and we're back. They are all dry now. This is how pretty they look. Okay. Now the next thing that I wanted to do with you, I did show you that I have these two hats to choose from to put on there, but I also told you that you could make a hat using an old ribbon spool. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I go about doing that. First of all, I'm going to carefully take off these round pieces. Okay. Before I took it off, I should have cut it down. You want one side to be even for the top of the hat. So I'm just going to cut it. Okay. Then you have your fabric. It's red. It's not really showing up too great. For some reason I keep grabbing red pens. We'll get there. All right, here's a black pen.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
we go. You just gotta find the right way to make it work sometimes. All right. And there we go. Now you made a cute little snowman hat. So now, that's how the hat would look on the snowman. So like I said, you got several choices here. You got this one. The white one I think is just a little bit small. I think this would be perfect for like the plastic ornament size. That would be good. But you do need a slightly bigger one for a bigger. And I think what I'm going to do, let me check something real quick. Okay. So I was gonna go ahead and just make this little snowman to go inside my ring, but I think I'm gonna make a separate one later on. That way I can show you guys the full effect of making the actual snowman with the skates and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and make another one of those today. So. Got your lights. Turn on your lights. And I believe once we get this all set together, it will stay good. So you just put about 5 of those down in there. And then the rest of them, you're going to shove into the other side. And then we just glue them together like this. Just a little bit for that battery pack sticking out. And it'll be lit up all pretty. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and make a face for our snowman. Now I always like to pre-draw out my face. I did this yesterday, so hopefully it's still good and on my mind. But this is the little face that I drew that I'm going to put on the snow globe. So we've got black, white, and blue, and orange. Okay, so we're going to start with the black. These markers have 2 ends to them, so they have the small side right here, and then on the other side they have the thicker side. So since I'm doing a lot of drawing today, I'm going to use the smaller side. And I'm going to try to do this to where you guys can see it, but I can still get a good angle on drawing the face. Well, that one didn't quite go. Don't know. Sometimes this will come off and sometimes it won't. If you get it when you first start, you can manage to get it to come off if you mess up. Okay. I'm going to color in this black portion. Just try to round it out. Okay, these other ones. Not liking. Try to see if I can get these corners off because I did not like the way they went on there. I did let it dry a little bit too much, so we're gonna have to just make it work. All right. I'm trying to make them rounded. Okay. Then you get the blue. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to outline some of the black with the blue. Okay. The eyes might be exaggerated a little bit. Okay, and we're going to get the orange for the nose. Okay. And then the mouth. Go back to the black. Actually, do the mouth last. I'm not done with the eyes yet, so let's go back into the eyes. Okay. We're just going to get a little highlight in the eyes up here at the top. Okay. And now the mouth is the tricky part. The mouths get me every time to draw these mouths. But let's see. And there we have it. Our little face is drawn. Okay, so now we want to get ready to glue the pieces together. So you're going to need your hot glue gun, and then you're going to need your Gorilla Glue. Okay, so for the Gorilla Glue, you're going to glue it in several places, but you're going to leave a gap for the hot glue. And then we're going to leave this gap back here for the lights to hang out of, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get them down in there. Because the hot glue dries really fast. So now we're going to put the hot glue in between the sections where we don't have Gorilla Glue. And this will help us get an immediate hold. And just hold it down for a few minutes. And then I have this double-sided sticky tape that I got from the dollar store. And we're just going to put this on the back of that battery pack. Oops. And then we're just going to stick it on the back. Let's stick there for a few minutes. Okay. Now for I'm going to cut another piece of this fabric and I'm going to make a scarf out of it. Okay, I think that's going to be big enough. No, I should have made it a little bit longer. I think it's going to be too short. Maybe. I just want it to be kind of off to the side over here. I'm just going to glue that down right there so it stays right where I want it to. And then I'm just going to take and make some little slits in at the end there. Cute little scarf on there. And then let me grab the buttons. Let me see. Actually, I think it's smaller than this. Okay, let's see. And I'm just going to put two little buttons on his front. That one actually might fall off a little bit. For everything that you put on glass, you want to use a little bit of Gorilla Glue, which I forgot on that first button, but because it's glass and hot glue will not stick to glass for very long. Okay. Now he's got his 2 little buttons on there. And now put his little hat on there. So the same thing applies. Put some Gorilla Glue through there. Let me see. And then some hot glue in between your Gorilla Glue spots. All right, and then the last thing you're going to put on him is his shoes. Besides his hands. I didn't plan on using hands because in my other one I'm not putting hands in there. So I'm going to come back and put some hands on this guy later, which all I do is go get a couple twigs out from the yard and glue them on there. So for the skates, we're just going to figure out where we want them. I think right there will work. Okay. So it's kind of going right here in this center area right here. So again, put a little bit of Gorilla Glue on here. Mine's getting close to running out on me. And a little bit of hot glue on the other sides. I'm going to try to lift him up because he's not all stable yet, but here you go. How stinking cute is this little guy? So cute, right? Just going to let him sit there a little bit so he can dry up. And that about concludes this video. Like I said, I'll get some little twig arms to glue here on the ends, and the same thing, I'll put some Gorilla Glue on there and a little bit of hot glue. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. If you did, please give me a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, have a great day.